there by SoloMid. And actually, Special is actually one of his most common champions there. Lee Sin getting kicked out. So they're actually running through these bans really quickly, and there is that Shen getting kicked out. So SoloMid, despite being first pick, don't want to deal with that. I know Dyrus has practiced that champion before, so we're going to see if that's actually a ploy, because right now they're actually banning things that mess with double AP. You've got Alistar who can drop initiates. You've got actually Soraka getting kicked out.
Ooh.
The Mundo ban also quite excellent.
Soraka and Karthus are kind of complementary.
Oh, that's true, a little bit. But it's interesting, the Odd One actually has been learning more and more of these carry-type junglers. Normally you had a really big definition between the Odd One and St. Vision, where Odd One's really good at supporty junglers, tanky junglers like Maokai, and St. Vision was like, I'm going to run, Udyr and Lee Sin.
I'm going to try to gank every minute and tax your lane.
Yeah, pretty much, and then tax the lane for minion kills. And actually the Odd One's been getting better at playing carry status. He actually has a 6-0 gangplank in Challenger Circuit events throughout all these lands.
Very
so
nice.
actually, wow, V8 actually banning out Udyr, and that was the champion actually that Eski said, if you let me get him, I'm going to do well. But apparently they're afraid of that first pick Udyr coming out.
Yeah, Udyr can be very strong. He just brings so much utility to the game, and he will he will usually win his lane, especially if he gets a few ganks early, blow that flash of your opponent, and you can really just take advantage of bear stance and keep taking away with Tiger in lane. It looks like we're going to have the safe Janna pick. As always, we see this a lot of times. Janna is one of those supports that can really help to disengage, engage a fight, or really keep someone alive with that shield. She isn't exactly your healer-type sustain, as most of them are in the game. They can throw out heals, but she really is all about the utility and facilitating her team in and out of the fight.
Wow, the insta-lock Kennen coming out, and they are, immediately V8 knows what they want to do. They're already picking up champions. They're picking up Kennen, which can go mid or top. So they've not played out any cards here. True Eskimo could play Kennen. Takashi X could play Kennen. And so TSM does not really have any new information here. They don't know if Reginald or Dyrus are going to be fighting against these champions. And, they're going to possibly grab Kog'Maw for Chaos, and he is really, really dominant with that champion. I think Kog'Maw might be taking the reins pretty soon for sort of best AD carry. These teams have been kind of fighting for Kog'Maw a lot, actually. Oh, no, they might switch it up a little bit. Looks like Reginald is going to grab Galio here, so maybe it's a bit of an AoE comp coming back at them. You can see quite how that pans out, but they have picked these champions up. I do like Galio because he can lock up entire teams with that ultimate, and that's going to allow... V8 just grabbing stuff. Man. Lulu coming out, first time at the tournament. Probably a support, though we have seen her jungle, or solo mid or solo top. You can always hope, but of course they have Maokai. So
do you play Lulu as a jungler?
I have. I actually did a spotlight about it, and you run like an entire attack speed book, and it actually goes really fast. It's actually pretty good. So don't take my word for it. I made a video with one clip of me killing a guy. It must be true.
Triforce Rush, right?
Yeah, you get it pretty quickly. I mean, you need the wit's end. Oh!
Yes!
Dyrus.
That top
running
loft.
the Olaf. So they've mostly locked in their whole lineups. Now Masia coming out from the crowd. I like it. You guys are, by the way, guys, you are really, really awesome in this crowd. Please keep up the noise. You guys are phenomenal. I love you. Thank you very much. These are the kind of crowds that I want to see at every esports event, every tournament. And there is Vladimir. So double AP coming out for V8. Likely to be True Eskimo solo top. And then Takashi X in the mid. Of course, they could swap, no problem. But yes, an AoE comp here. And I like this because they've got Tristana is super safe. You can use Lulu to lock people up, and she has some AoE as well. You've got a jungle Maokai. You can really keep everyone kind of locked together as well. I do really like this lineup for V8. What do you kind of see from SoloMid here?
SoloMid has an awesome team that just grabs onto you and sticks. The entire team, like I said, Janna can pop up if she wants to even start that. They also have a Galio. That Resolute Smite is such a big slow, and if he's running red armor or red magic resist and blue magic resist with some mana regen, you can just sit there and spam Resolute Smite and lane all day, and there's no champion that can take that. That becomes such a bursty spell, especially if you go to rush it. The Kog'Maw on Chaos, I was talking about that with him in Hanover when we were having dinner, and I was like, do you go this? You push your E first, so you can force that flash out of lane if you have a jungler that comes down fast from red. And he's like, I never really thought about that. It's usually the W for early objectives, so we can get dragon quick. With Kog'Maw having that W, doing percent damage, he likes to go for that. Dyrus going for that top loft. True damage is just something that nobody can deal with. There's no way to mitigate it. Really the only way to stop it is to out level that person, so it doesn't do it's doing the same amount of damage, but you just have the HP to take that damage. Well, so it's difficult to beat an Olaf in lane.
Yeah.
Especially after 6. But if you have that stun early, Riven does a good job at it. Anybody that can stay quite far away, it does a good job.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that'll help him there is actually by putting Vladimir up there, he naturally gains quite a bit of health there. He will become more and more tanky. And there is a chance there for Vladimir just to outscale out Olaf and push the lanes down, force him to last hit under turret. He can do a lot of stuff to actually force this game to go into his favor. So, I do think Vladimir is a pretty good choice for that. They, of course, picked that last pick, Vladimir, to say, okay, you've grabbed Olaf. Yes, we think this will work here. Yes, we think we're going to go for this. But you still got that Galio Kog'Maw combo where you're just going to lock everyone up, and then Kog'Maw's going to start just dishing out damage. And that's going to be really, really scary for V8 to deal with. I'm trying to think about the lineup. They don't have really good ways to dive at that Kog'Maw. Normally, like, if you have an Olaf can just run at Kog'Maw, and he's immune to Janna ults, etc., etc.
Right.
But they don't have that. They actually have the Janna to keep people away from Kog. So, they can rely on KX to win this game, and as long as Reginald and Dyrus get durable and can just kind of hold that front line, they're pretty much going to be good to go. So, I think there's a really good chance here for this TSM lineup, just because they have Superhero Kog'Maw, and Superhero Kog'Maw is a good way to play the game.
Yeah.
He really does a lot of damage.
Tons of damage.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Depends on the items. It starts out doing, kilograms, maybe a couple of pounds, and then as it sort of builds, tons of damage.
So what do you think for this V8 team as they've kind of revamped a little bit? Like you said, Takashi now in middle, Tree Eskimo on the team as well. Used to be a rider, one of us, but now we can compete in tournaments again as we can't. It's probably a good thing because I'm not good. But what are you thinking?
I would just pick team every game. Like I said, V8 has a good standard sort of old school AoE comp. They've got lockdown on a lot of people. They have actually really good ganks and initiates too. I'm going to like seeing Maokai Kennen sort of come together to do this battle, because you're going to have Maokai just gank in there, use that dash move, kind of get in, lock up a guy, and Kennen can stun as well, so you've got a lot of damage coming out with about 4 seconds of lockdown, and that could be enough to pick up these kills. Now the odd one on Shyvana going to be, really high speed, high damage, really fast jungle clear, can give away mana all the time. SoloMid on the screen, so there's the cheering. It's just all it takes for these guys to get all excited. And of course, you guys at home, if you're cheering for either team, if you yell loud enough, we will hear you here at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So yell as loud as you can at home. Got you covered. I got bad ears. It's just a good old school AoE comp. Aphromoo could definitely scale throughout this late game, as Tristana has this innately long range. And so one thing that they can do is that Kog'Maw as a champion is sort of reliant on his W, on that Bioarcane Barrage, to give him that bonus range, to give him that bonus damage. Once that ends, because you only have it up for about half the time, then it goes on cooldown, you can sort of make him start that, push a fight in, he presses W, back up, okay, it's down, go in. And then during those about 10 seconds of time, you can kind of go in and do all your damage, and Kog'Maw won't be as scary. His range will be lower, so you can actually catch up to him for once, and that might be all his team needs to make that happen for V8. But I think V8 needs to outmove her, because SoloMid can sit behind the ranged champions, poke, and then ult and go, and they're going to sort of play methodically. I think V8 needs to sort of cause some sort of hectic moves. They need to cause some strange things to happen, and I think that's going to be their plan there. Is that in talking with Tree Eskimo, he said we need to outpick TSM. I think both teams are just good all around. There's no weak links. There's no super duper all stars who win games by themselves, but we need to pick well. We need to beat them.
Right. And if you guys, there's so many of you in here. If you are looking for a seat, this is also being done in the EA Sports Bar downstairs. Dan Din is hanging out down there if you want to go chill with Dan Din. But we do have seats full here with the crowd as well, the original crowd here at IPL 4 in the Cosmopolitan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I am Rivington Bism III, joined by David Turley, also known as Rivington III and Freak. We're going to be bringing this match underway in just a few moments. Like I said, Dan Din hanging out downstairs in the EA Sports Bar. If you want to go hang out there, get some shots in, and also be sure to catch Lonnie running around as well for some free stuff.
Yeah, running around giving out free stuff, kind of giving you guys the view if you're actually watching the stream, and that is /IPL live and the letter U. And that's going to give you kind of the view of what's going on at the Cosmopolitan, walking around between all the convention halls and sort of phasing people out. CLG walk around to the front row and everyone's cheering for them. They're not even in this match. But it's like, oh my gosh, it's Chowster and Big Fat and St. Vicious. So, it's great. I love this about League of Legends, is that because everyone streams, everyone's kind of made themselves into be a superstar. Right? We saw, the crowd cheering for every individual player on SoloMid, and I would do it for V8, but they don't stream as much, and so you don't have quite that same like level of notoriety, but as these guys compete in more and more tournaments, they're going to be bigger and bigger crowd favorites. You're going to kind of see these guys build themselves as all-stars, and it's just great to see the crowd react, just react to seeing their favorite players' faces, and just seeing their favorite teams play. It's awesome. I love that you guys are so invested.
Because let's take a look at these players. Let's take a look at these two teams about to head off. They're kind of just chilling out in their own sections. Maybe,
yeah. We're going to have the awesome IPL 4 graphic and the versus sign. It's even color-coded blue to purple. It's
just
great.
Too good. I know. I actually just noticed that today. I was like, these overlays are awesome. And then I'm like, wow, they're even color-coded. So I was missing stuff. And there we go. Dyrus with his pillow on the left. TSM on the left. V8 on the right. Let's hear it if you want to see TSM take this game. This side of the room, pretty TSM heavy. V8 also in this. Let's see if you want V8 to take this game. All right.
And for those who don't know the faces, V8 from closest to farthest away is Aframu, Tree Eskimo. It's Unstoppable X. You can see him facing off there. Then Takashi X in the very back is Muffin.
Yep.
It's actually interesting. V8 is the only team I've seen not sit their AD carry support next to each other. They're actually on opposite ends of the sides of the table. And normally they're always next to each other because they're playing together. And the SoloMid's always in mid too for some reason. But that's actually not the case. The only team I've seen actually do that is V8, and that's just a random thing I just decided to point out. It's really gameplay relevant because they're all in voice chat. But still, I don't know. It was a thing. So yeah, we're getting into the load screen here. The game is going to be going underway very, very soon. I feel like I've talked to death how this AoE lineup's going to work for V8.
Heal
so
Vlad.
just, what is your prediction here?
I'm just staring at Tree Eskimo's heal Vlad. That's kind of cool.
It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense also. That's definitely a troll bait for Dyrus because you can get in there, you're thinking you can hit that last reckoning, and you're going to get a heal.
Yeah, we actually saw that in CLG AAA too with the heal bait from Urgot from Yellow Star.
Yep.
Basically got dives and almost double killed under his own turret, but at least traded back out.
Worked out. There's a lot of catch up here. Muffin Cutie can do a lot for his team. Tristana's got the jump. We're going to look for a twisted advance from Maokai to start this fight off, and then Takashi's going to come in once they are able to lock down that one person. However, you have Reginald, and Reginald's going to have to be careful because if they can get within that range of a stun as he's going down for his ulti, now there's not too much. You don't have an Udyr constantly in bear stance around you, just being annoying. But their team can still stop that Galio stun, so he's going to have to be careful as he projects that. Here we go. Into your third match of the day. Freak, take it away.
All right, guys, we're going to see SoloMid leading the charge here. We're going to see Kaox running around as Kog'Maw. And, guys, I'm going to give you the builds. See if we can press the buttons properly. Oh, yeah, I rebound everything. So you're going to see Kog'Maw. Here's his build. 6 armor pen, 6%, so he's 21 offense. Look at that attack damage, though. 68 at level 1 with boots and potions. Learns W at level 1. So here's the lesson planning special there. Look at this stuff. Got a little bit of bonus magic. It's actually 49 MR. Look at the armor there, 40 as well, so a lot of stuff there. He's got Fairy Charm, 4 potions. Has not yet learned it for his skills, so we're going to see what pans out for him.
Ooh, nice early
A little bit of movement in the middle, though. We're going to watch out there. Uh-oh. Slow comes out from Galio. Eskimo's got to be a little bit careful there. Looks like they'll be all right.
See what Reginald is running on Galio for his magic resistance when you're done.
Oh, yeah, how much MR Galio's got? Looks like 58, so plus 18 from Runes and Masteries. Actually, not even going Magic Pen at all, so it looks like not even 9 in offense. Just
already 14 mana regen for 5.
Yeah, so a lot of MP5 going for him, and then just relying on the magic-resistant tankiness. Oh, is the text too small for you guys? You can't quite read it very well. I'm sorry about that. I guess I'll call it out then. Yeah, so Galio build, let's see. Let's go down the rest of this lineup. Dyrus, looks like not a lot of bonus armor, actually. Got 55 magic resist at level 1, though. Looks like he's at least 9 offense, got percent armor pen. No MP5 on that page. Oh, my gosh. I mean, it spawns at 230?
Level 1 dragon.
Yeah, level 1 dragon's at 230. No, they're going to invade. Okay. This is not beta where it's like already out there. Actually, going back far enough, Baron spawned at the start of the game, and Kale had invulnerability at level 1. You could level 1 Baron. Okay, Ox.
What is he level? Twisted Advance or his?
He's waiting. Sapling. He wants to use Sapling to farm.
Yeah.
Oddone did take out some of these wraiths, though. Are they going to stay around for Reddit? Just spawn now. It looks like they're just going to move back across the map. Vladimir actually stayed top, so they're not going to lose too much effort there. Reginald looks like he's going to help out Dyrus. And there's Kennen in mid. So looks like the lanes have just started up again as Unstoppable X. Actually about 15 seconds behind, starting on this golem, waiting for Lulu to pull it for him. And Galio actually getting blue at level 1. So that's pretty interesting. They're just going to have Shyvana invade still. Oddone actually has been found by Takashi. This could be pretty interesting. Takashi going to throw out some damage. Actually learned W at level 1. Putting out some damage here. He's got to be a little bit careful. Oddone's still taking some damage. Galio coming up. Takashi not in a happy place. Looks like he's going to survive that for now. Reginald getting pushed back out. Maokai farming out with blue. I was going to keep stealing away these Rays. I like that move from the Oddman. I think that's the right play for him.
Very good job so far. Just seeing Unstoppable continue through his jungle. He is going to be denied that resource as he makes it up to his Wraiths. Very nice job there as Odd One is going to now go up towards Tri-Bush here. Trieskimo getting pushed back to his tower, but Dyrus quickly out of mana. So he's going to have to kind of wait in lane. And a beautiful job at counter jungling right here. It looks like they're actually going to catch him. Oh, no, no, no. Beautiful CV right on the backside. He said, my Wraiths aren't there. I want to know what's going on at red. 3v2 situation. Galio coming in from the backside. Reginald flashing into the fight. And Dyrus coming up with the first blood on Olaf. They now chase out Trieskimo and Unstoppable. Trieskimo not yet having pool. He will not be able to get out of this. A double kill coming up. Odd One and Dyrus picking up the first 2 in the game, 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. TSM now 5,000 gold. That's a G up for them.
The crowd yelling Bromacia. Excellent job by SoloMid. I really like that move. You had Dyrus shove the top lane in order to force Trieskimo over to his turret and then immediately just run over and say, hey guys, I feel like taking over your Lizard buff. And the fight was really, really good. I like that because Vladimir does not fight that well in the first maybe 5 levels of the game. And so, you know, it was kind of an automatic advantage where it was almost a 3v2 despite being a 3v3. That was actually very, very excellent for SoloMid. You're going to see Takashi X back in mid. Reginald with some nice gold, though. So.
No, that was a really great job, especially when they saw the CV. Usually you will second guess that instance and be like, hey, we probably shouldn't do this. But the entire team folded on it, and it was the perfect idea for TSM. They were able to grab the upper hand in that fight. Reginald felt confident enough to flash into the fight, even with without his ultimate. But yeah, usually you want to save that as your escape, especially with the Galio. I mean, you have your E to get away, but at this low level, that's not something you want to expend just to get that. But feel safe about it. Still farming in lane. Takashi, 13 to 23 creeps. Reginald in favor there. Gonna head to top lane and check out Dyrus. Dyrus is 26 to Vlad's 11. CS not too bad there. And we go back down. We haven't really gave too much attention to the bottom lane as they're just doing their own thing as top and middle just continue to fight with the jungle. Good damage to Chaos there. A little bit of trade back and forth. But Aframu's gonna have to be careful. He's pumping potions here. And no, only one on Chaos as well. They have, both of them neither have that heal support. So the damage they do is going to stick after they're done with those potions.
Yeah, so by the way, one thing we actually saw at Hanover was, I'm trying to remember the player, but it was a guy who went Lifesteal Quince on Kog'Maw. I forget which player it was. I think it was Cop from Curse. And then we kind of mentioned that KX was kind of using that rune build, but did not actually go for any Lifesteal.
Going top.
Ooh. Trieskimo going to get jumped on. He's got the slows there, but he's unstoppable from behind. They will not manage to catch the Odd One. They will not catch him under the turret either. It's going to be pretty much safe there. But let's see what this Vlad's actually running here. Trieskimo does have a lot of bonus magics, actually. 47 MR right now. 43 armor, so a lot of defenses. Does get magic pen and all that normal stuff, and a little bit of CDRs. Looks like a 21-9 build for him. Bot lane still pushing for V8. Aframu actually not running armor pen either, so not really trying to go for aggression with armor pen, just going standard.
The Odd One is just playing mind games right now, pulling Unstoppable off those golems, now going back to do the golems, and they will actually steal his red after the entire thing, probably giving this one to Dyrus up top. Beautiful job. No, it actually went to Odd One. He smited it out. Yep. That's perfectly fine. You always want jungler to have that. And there's still, I don't think Odd One has even been in his jungle.
Not very much. Oh, they're going to jump on Takashi. There's a level 6 jump. Takashi not in a good shape, and there's the rest of the damage output. The kill happens 3v1 underneath his turret. And SoloMid is continuing to grow this advantage. You can see they're up 2,000 gold already, 6.5 minutes in. And this is the aggressive play that SoloMid is known for. Reginald, the strat caller for that team, and known for being an extremely aggressive player. And he's been doing a lot of good stuff with that. He's managed to pull them up a good number of kills, 2 points of Righteous Gust, 2 in Resolute Smite, 1 in Bulwark, and 1 on that ultimate. And he's just being tanky. He's got the Chalice already. He's going to start building some more health. Looks like that's going to be probably a catalyst next. Poor Trieskimo not able to really leave his lane except to defend his jungle. It's not really worked out for him. So far, SoloMid are dominating these solo lanes. We look at the bottom here for V8, and they're actually 39 CS on Kog'Maw and 50 on Triss. So V8 are winning this bottom lane. We talked earlier about how SoloMid was kind of going to be superhero Kog'Maw, but right now it might be superhero Tristana, and that is possible. These guys can scale throughout this game and turn this around. All
right, so as a jungler freak, Maokai can be countered quite easily. At this point, the Odd One is continuously going to beat down on that door. What is his best bet to do right now? Is it wards? Is it to go for GP?
I think it's just jump up onto Aframu and do a little bit of damage there. Especially went up there, tossed some slows out, scared them all off, of course, not level 6 yet. on the Siobhan. Actually getting out-leveled by Maokai just because she's spending so much time harassing, but going for the blue, the Clairvoyant spots that Maokai's coming over, Reginald coming to help as well, and there's like all of SoloMid right here getting ready for this. Look at the vision. They do see Unstoppable coming in. And here's the fight, gonna jump in onto the Oddwin. Unstoppable at half health already. There's the Kennen. The ult goes off. Unstoppable still very low. Oddwin special all low as well. And Afro gets one kill. Now jumping back up. Here's the rest of the fight. Unstoppable not going to go down. Reginald down. And very, very low with the Oddwin as well. Reginald not in a good place. Level 7, taking a little bit of pain. Blue buff did go to Unstoppable. So there we go. V8 pulling back that kill. And the kill went onto Afromu. And that is awesome. He is just now dominating Kog'Maw in gold as Tristana. And that's going to keep growing, honestly. That's going to get more and more scary here.
That was a really great job by them. The odd one had to start remembering, you know, we've been counter jungling a lot. They're going to want to stop this soon, and that's exactly what they did. Mao did not have to go in there, and he took a lot of damage doing it, though, but with the confidence of his team, they were able to pull out that. We saw Tristana jump straight onto a special, almost got a checker kill off of that, and just continued to jump around, but did not get that kill on Galio. We can see finally that point you were talking about where Trieskimo can somewhat stand up against Dyrus at this point. He just gets his health back, cools out, and will be able to go back and forth. He's forced to farm under his turret, but as long as he can stay in that lane and gain XP, he can still kind of thwart Dyrus getting way too tanky and becoming that 30-minute time bomb.
Yeah, I mean, both Vlad and Olaf become time bombs, honestly. Vladimir can scale really, really hard throughout this game. And Dyrus' build, by the way, stacking MR, actually built 2 Null Magic Mantles before anything else, aside from Boots. He's already upgraded 1 to a Hex Drinker. He's actually maxing Undertow, by the way. He's not going for the Reckless Swing build. He's actually spamming that Q to push lanes and to deal a lot of physical damage. He's actually focusing on more of an AD-centric build here. We'll see if that actually pans out for him, because right now, I mean, no one's really stacking that much armor. I think they're mostly afraid of magic damage from Kog'Maw. Oh, wow, nice bit of damage there on a Trieskimo. Of course, he will sustain a little bit back. He's, of course, maxing Transfusion, going for that Hextech Revolver. Double Woda, likely to be the build here for V8. Kakashi already has one, or at least has the revolver there. We're going to do will the Angels before too long, and actually Galio moving around, wants to take over Wraiths, but he's gone right now. Oh no, he's instead going to go towards the top lane. This could be really, really scary.
Oh man, he's coming up around that right side. His pool should be up again. We'll have to see. He's about half health right here. He is coming back. They're pinging for Dragon because they do see the Galio is missing. They're going to go hard on this one. He does throw down Hemo Plague, but I don't know. It is going to kill Dyrus. No, that shield from Hex Drinker saving his life. Wow.
But at the same time, V8 takes that Q to go for Dragon. So they do trade Dragon out. They pink forwarded it. Unstoppable got the smite there. So they're actually keeping the game to only a 1,300 gold difference, which is kind of a lot, but it's actually better than it was before. And Alpharu, again, gaining gold.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, Dyrus got a turret. Oh, wow, he was face-taking a turret with no health. Nice, okay. Oh, wow, again, the pressure on a KX. Alpharu actually got a lot of damage. Oh, wow. That got painful really fast.
Too bad they weren't on the same wavelength there, because that would have been Kog'Maw's W just walking through his Void Ooze, and Triss forced to jump out of that one, leaving Muffin Cutie behind by himself. Those W doing so much damage, he gets it on, just jumps out, and she actually gets ulted by Muffin Cutie to keep her alive there.
Yep, he's running a BF sword right now, whereas KX got Zerk Greaves and another Doran's Blade, so both sides have it back to buy once. Philo Stone, you see actually on both of those supports right now. Takashi's still farming out mid as best he can, getting that AoE damage, and by the way, actually maxing Q first, then W there for the cannons out there. You see the odd one on Shyvana maxing W first, 1 point everywhere else. Dyrus now putting his second points down to Reckless Swing now that he's got more points than Undertow.
Man, Unstoppable being countered so much. Backed out of his jungle once again. Trieskimo going to come to help here, but they have got the ward down. They pulled it out of the bush, so not even the sapling. No, the sapling sees him, but then they say, this is a bad idea. And it looks like they are going to both back away.
Oh, he smote it. Unstoppable's got it. Nice job there.
Did give the smote, and he got it.
Yeah, that was really, really good there. Takashi managed to get back down, so Team SoloMid have invaded for buffs twice in the last 4 minutes, and both times they've actually not managed to take the buffs away. And one time they actually gave away a kill, so V8 have kind of stabilized this game. They lost a bunch of kills early, but since the rest of that, they've done a really good job of trading kills for Dragons or getting their own buffs regardless. They've not been able to invade, but that's kind of the case with Maokai. He's not an aggressive jungler.
Right.
You're not going to have that same kind of opportunity, but they're managing to react to those opportunities that SoloMid have created and survive them.
Oh, actually, look at Mao's build here. He did go for 2 GP10s. He's really getting hurt on the gold there. He only has 48 minions to 55 but that Shyvana also has kills. The Odd One doing a very good job. As we said before, the Odd One starting to play more aggressive junglers instead of the support junglers. And we can see it here. He has not spent any time outside the enemy jungle, and actually, yeah, it's cleared his finally, I think twice now, but cleared the enemy jungle quite a bit more. Looks like Vlad moving to middle here. Triesimo forced to kind of roam around now as his lane is pushed, so that's going to stop his experience and level growth for a little bit as Dyrus continues to level. That Vladimir is 8, Dyrus is 9, and he's got more waves coming at him.
Yeah, so KX actually managed to stabilize the minions and pull ahead. He's 99 to 84, so now that gold, we're going to look at it, 3,500 to 3,500, so they've actually equalized the goal despite that kill there. And the dragon on the one side, so let's see, Aftermoon still is pushing through as Tristana, trying to scale through at this game. I think Kog'Maw still does a little bit more damage late game, but Tristana is much safer, so you can see how this late game turns out. The AoE comp can actually make it work for V8 here.
The thing about both of those champions, which is really good carrying them into late game, is both Tristana and Kog'Maw are relatively inexpensive champions to do a lot of damage with.
Yeah, you have kind of free steroids on both sides. Kog'Maw, I think, a little bit free-er because he gets kind of damage that he won't scale himself.
Right.
With that W there, whereas Tristana actually has some innate burst damage in lane. She actually can be a very aggressive laner. And then has free attack. And mid, thank you. And Skache's taking a lot of damage there. Oh, getting really, really low. Dyrus still charging through, taking a lot of damage, but it could fall to the Hemo Plague. Very, very low. Will get picked up there just barely. Looks like 1 for 1. And my map awareness has grown by playing at LAN because you guys yell lanes for me. I'm sorry for missing out at the beginning, but seriously, thank you guys. You guys are really, really awesome. There we go, KX still crushing these minions. Odd One still kind of growing his minion lead. You can see now 2 above 100 minions. Galio and Kog'Maw both hitting the 110 mark. And the best that V8 actually has is the 96 on their Trist. So SoloMid growing their gold lead, and they're going to keep doing so, I think. Yeah,
we can see if you switch over to the change purse and see how much gold they have. We actually have 3 members over 4,000 gold and none on V8 side right now. So TSM is really bringing in the gold around the team instead of just one person getting fed. They're doing a great job at comping during their fights, allowing the assists to happen and the kills to happen for the right people.
Yeah, let's see. Yep, Takashi is still pushing through mid. V8 really haven't been making any big moves. They've been kind of content to farm and then wait till late game. That actually might be their strategy. Say, look, we know we can win late game. We know our comp works a certain way. And honestly, Maokai is probably one of the best late game junglers in the game. Having an AoE 20% damage reduction, like as soon as Galio ults, you just like, okay, well, ult on top of you. Don't care. And you absorb kind of everything, and you can kind of turn it back to their faces. So I think V8 wants to kind of solve this one out. They're kind of playing a CLG sort of game where, you know, regardless of the enemy strategy, they just want to hold on, win their lanes, farm up some gold, and then make it happen by the 50-minute mark. And CLG, they 2-0'd against all authority by doing that. We'll see if V8 can make that same thing happen. And right now, you just kind of see Alban, you know, taking all his buffs away. You're going to try to invade again when the other buffs keep respawning, when Dragon comes back up. They're going to keep trying for that.
I don't know if Chaos, maybe he was looking for a little bit more slow on Voidoo's, a little bit more burst damage as he was getting his ultimate out, but usually you'll see Kog'Maw go for that Q level and the passive attack speed next, but he is leveling his E after the W, so that's a little bit different there. And doing great damage though, coming out with some crits, and going to back off. That's the thing about Kog'Maw is you're getting hit by 2 things at once. He's got his W, which becomes stronger, and that's just the auto attack, and then his ult is falling on you as you're trying to get away, so he can pretty much direct what range he wants you to go in. Kennen milling about here in a ward, actually. Janna coming up. Looks like they're going to throw it down. Could have a dragon soon here. See if these teams start to converge on that area.
Oh, wow. Kog'Maw doing so much damage to Aftermoon. He's got, oh my gosh, more crits coming out. He was 1 hit from death after that if he crit again. He's got a lot of crit chance. He's going for that fast Phantom Dancer to scale the attack speed up. Trismo has actually taken mid over now. Takashi coming back. They both now have the role of the Ancient, so there's a lot of spell vamp and free AP for both these champions. Reginald with blue buff, just spamming. Has not really given up minions much at all. Hog actually going for some turret damage now. Chaos doing a great job there. But he's going to run out of minions. He's going to take some damage from this turret. Predicts he has a little bit of lifesteal, so we'll be okay.
So V8, they understand what's going on. They're like, guys, we need to group a little bit more here. We can see that Trist already came mid. She is going to have to back, though. She was very low. But TSM now has a lot of aggression. They can focus it anywhere they want. They have a lot of power. Just trying to get a slowdown on Galio. Muffin Cutie trying to harass there. They are going to push him off just due to no minions, but if they still had a wave there, I'm pretty sure they would not have mind that 3v3 fight.
Oh, they might cut. Okay, and Sokkel's going to find the other one in the jungle. He's not going to jump in. Didn't know if the rest of the team was there. Looks like the Lizard has come out. KX did get that bottom turret by himself. So excellent play there on that Kog'Maw, and now they're just going to jump in. They've actually pink boarded their own brush because they assumed SoloMid would have boarded it. They've been invading so very much. There's 125 gold spent by V8. just from the earlier aggression from TSM. So you know, SoloMid's really kind of been mind gaming him ultimately.
Just trying to look at these Togma and Triss builds. Cogna doesn't have too much damage, but that Doran's Blade is really what's winning in these extra fights with that HP. Takashi in middle still trying to farm against Reginald. That's going 158 to 105. So Reginald taking a 53 creep lead in mid, doing a very nice job, as well as been roaming and getting kills. So these guys have a great advantage for themselves. V8, like they seem to be doing now, really need to get a group up for that 5 fight. I think, as you said, Unstoppable, that Maokai ult, the 20% reduction in damage is really going to assist them in continuing that fight. It's going to be a long one. I don't think anybody's going to be bursted down. That Olaf's going to be able to focus one person with Kog'Maw, but there's going to be some time for V8 to come out and do some of their own damage in the next fight.
And you see Triescamo still a level behind on Dyrus right here, but he's pretty close to level. You see the experience bar in orange right down there. Dyrus coming in from the back. A little bit of damage there. Nice trade-off coming on both sides. Looks like Eski's actually going for Riley's next. He's got the belt of giant strength, so he's going to be building for tankiness as soon as possible. Looks like some movements towards bottom. V8 wants to try to catch SoloMid down here. They might be able to do so. Oh no, they're actually going for their own blue. Wards on both sides here. Good damage from Galio, hitting Unstoppable. And oh, Dyrus made to move first before Triescamo, so numbers advantage right now in the mid and bot lanes for Team SoloMid. They don't press too much into that. A little bit of damage to the turret, and now they've got complete position over this golem. That is going to go to Reginald. Reginald got the blue up. Good steal there by SoloMid. They're going to figure that out, respawning at 23:55, and because they killed it, they know that time. That was on purpose by SoloMid. They wanted that to respawn under their own thumbs. They knew when that would come back up.
They have to be very careful about their positioning here. They have a lot of slows, and he is going to grab it right in front of the turret. Kennen gets melted down. Unstoppable trying to get away, but Chemo Plague will cause them to just back off. That Vladimir ultimate will get cast on you, and the more damage he does, it's going to hurt even more. So if he can continuously do damage whenever you get that Vladimir ult on, he's pretty much going to take you out. That's why everybody wanted to get out of there. They didn't want to get Tides of Blood either. There's going to be a lot of damage coming in from Triss. See what they can do in this mid. Takashi did go down in that fight. He was quickly focused. Wasn't able to get the W off onto Galio's ultimate as he was stuck in it himself. And that mid turret almost going down by the weight of Dyrus as he's coming down on it pretty hard after that last fight we saw in the bottom right half of the jungle. Odd One pushing bottom. It's kind of just pushing every lane right now. TSM with full dominance of the map. Good wards, however, by V8. They're continuously staying in that mindset. They can still win this game. It's all about one good Baron fight and then another roll on that one to get a few fights in your favor. We'll have to see if they can produce that. Kennen in mid, take a little bit of poke damage, and they're going to lose this second turret.
So a couple of more build call-outs. Special actually maxing Howling Gale instead of Zephyr. Of course, maxed Eye of the Storm first. KX still, in fact, putting all his second points into Void Ooze. Reginald actually splitting points between Bulwark and Righteous Gust, but of course has maxed Resolute Smite. Odd One actually maxing Twin Bite. Okay, I was going to say Twin Fang, that's something else. That's Cassiopeia, yeah. But Burnout first, and then there's the points into Twin Bite. Dyrus, again, has maxed out Reckless Swing second, so leaving Vicious Strikes at 1. Over in Muffin Cutie, he's actually maxing out Glitter Lance, then Help Picks, 1 point in Whimsy. Unstoppable X actually was maxing Sapling first. Now, the Odd One actually maxes Arcane Smash first, but he's actually doing that one second and Sapling right away. Takashi Q and W there, and just leaving that charge at 1. Triescamo, of course, going for E second, and everyone maxes Transfusion, and then finally onto Aftermoon. 2 points in Rocket Jump, 1 explosive shot, then maxing Rapid Fire, then back to Rocket Jump. So those are the builds, and of course you can see the items at the very bottom of the screen. And I think we got everyone at that point, so how to play like pros? Listen in, look at the bottom.
Looks like nobody wearing buffs around the map right now. Galio does have a blue, and it looks like theirs may be up. So Reginald, I believe, could have stolen that the last time they were there. Looks like the jungler has been denied on V8 side, so they're not bringing any buffs to this next fight. Good shield onto Galio as he took a little bit there from Lulu. Muffin Cutie still always trying to harass, even though he's absolutely adorable and turns people into cupcakes.
Absolutely.
All right. They do have that Oracle, so they have, after the CV runs out, they have the advantage of that area, but they are going to choose not to do it. It looks like Reginald's blue may be wearing off soon, as it just did, and he's going to grab that new one.
Okay, so let's see. Actually, one thing that's interesting is Muffin did not grab Flash. They actually went Exhaust Clairvoyance, and it still has not actually died, though. So, despite, having no super hardcore natural escapes and all that, and not running an escape summoner either, just bringing the extra utility with Exhaust, and it's actually going fine for her, so that's actually pretty much props to Muffin for surviving all that. Has 2 gold, pretends out. That's helping bridge the gold gap a little bit, but it's still 6,500 gold the difference here. SoloMid have been growing a lead for themselves.
like they're congregating down by the dragon area, even though it just went down. But it looks like as they're ward clearing, they kind of want to counter that. It doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do too much. So now that little annoyance of having your wards taken out every time you place them down, and with the vision that TSM has right now, we're going to see a lot of those wards as soon as they go down. So it's going to be hard for V8 to keep vision on this. It's a good thing they grab CV. It's going to be very big for them.
Chaos grabbing red as well, and that's a really good position by SoloMid. They all went into the jungle. You can see them all sitting in the brush, waiting around, zoning out V8. They've been sweeping these wards very, very well by the odd one, and so they got that free red buff. I think they're going to use this to start. I mean, maybe they'll just keep playing the map control game and sort of slowly building an advantage, or they might push in and do some really good pressure.
There's Dragon, and they are going to start milling about towards that area. You see 5 members of V8 just above that bush. That ward is there for them, but they don't have any more vision as they head towards Dragon. They do have Kog'Maw's W. And no, they did go Wriggles on Shyvana, so she's going to be able to proc that as well. The Galio out flash into Kennen. Kennen gets pushed into the fight there, and we're going to have to see if Takashi going down by Ignite, and he does. Olaf axe out of the side, takes him down. Tree Eskimo the focus. Dyrus with a double kill in the fight. Can he stay alive? That Hex Trigger keeping him alive. Triple kill, and he finally goes down by the hands of Tristana. Very good job as these guys continue the fight and continue to push them out. 4 for 1 there.
5 for 2.
And they're going to go for the full ace. 5 for 2, actually, as Janna did fall and Dyrus fell after getting a triple kill.
Yeah, after we finally cleaned up that fight at the very end right there, went is now 3-1 overall. He's getting some nice gold, but of course SoloMid just really scaling up this game now. 10,000 gold in the lead, and they're really getting themselves into a nice place here. KX pushing down. Let's see if they're actually going to... No, he's not going to give KX the blue buff, even though Reginald had one already. Just wants to refresh that timer there. And wow, KX is going to be a very, very scary Kog'Maw. Almost 1,900 gold waiting in the bank. Entering that in some items, possibly. Will he sell Dorans? Will he just wait? Looks like he's going to actually just wait. So that's actually interesting. A lot of these players will not sell Dorans to buy bigger items because they can just wait and combine later. It's kind of a choice thing that you can kind of get that 230 gold in that slot, but then you lose that Doran's Blade forever, and you might want to keep it out for that 10 damage, that 100 life later on in the game. So
yeah, right. When you leave the fight and you have 50 health, you're like, good thing I kept that.
Yeah, good thing I kept the Doran's Blade. Like sometimes it matters. So I don't know. It's always interesting to me. Unstoppable putting a sapling down on Baron. Ward control is there. And there we go. V8 putting a ward down for real this time. But look at SoloMid's ward control. Look how much map vision they have. They have like everything coming out of the river. Like they have 3 wards on the same screen. That's how much map control they have. They just really want to know what's going on. V8. Oh, they don't see very much. That got swept out. They saw Shyvana kill their ward. That's pretty much all they got though. So, I mean, you know, I do like the players of V8. They're not. You guys are cheering for TSM, obviously. Seriously, that's so much bias. Like, you realize that, right? But like, I'm getting caught up in it almost. I'm like, well, I guess I'll cheer for SoloMid because you guys want it. Like, I'm being like shy. I'm getting like peer pressured into cheering for him now. But you know, I want to see V8 pull it out. If they can't win this game, I do want to see him pull it to a game 3 at the very least. You see Takashi X kind of running back away from Olaf, being very manly. Honestly, he's got a lot of health, 27,500 health. He's gonna get back towards mid and Unstoppable X, clearing out these minions pretty quickly.
One guy left. Focus by TSM up towards Baron. It looks like they're trying to waste these CVs. Chaos just hanging out, really doesn't have anything to do. I don't know, maybe he's cutting his nails. We got Tree Eskimo trying to farm the Golem. So right now, VA is struck for resources. They are really just trying to get more creeps. They're trying to do what they can. As soon as those waves get pushed in and they kill those maybe 1 or 2 waves they're going to stack up, they have to wait the entire time again. And if TSM decides to just freeze these lanes and let them push in their favor, there's going to be no creeps for V8 to farm. TSM is going to be able to just push down mid lane. Now, something that they should do is, I don't know, they're trying to force a Baron or something. They're not really attacking until they have the right engagement. Pushing mid would be pushing an already pushed lane, and it might be hard to fight without Baron. So top or bottom, bottom's pushed pretty well right now, so they could be going for that. But there is Baron, so that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, you don't want to go bottom when Baron's up. Top is actually not too bad, because you can move back towards Baron pretty quickly. It'd be really hard for V8 to get around SoloMid and then into the Baron pit and then not get caught afterwards, because SoloMid has such great ward control, and actually, I can't find an Oracles on V8, so these wards are actually going to stay up, so SoloMid going to keep that map control. Yeah, they could just push top and, you know, not allow Baron by their positioning and then kind of get the rest of the turrets out that way. But it looks like a lot of aggression coming in. KX and just slowing to Eski, taking a lot of damage. Eski already on a half health. Oh my god!
He just became untargetable. That's why he lived. That was a W in the air that was about to kill him. Very nice job.
And we're going to see them defend at the turret. It's down a half health. Team SoloMid needs to wait for minions to come back in so they can tank those turret shots.
Right.
They're going to ping over and say, hey, let's look at this wolf camp or wraith camp. It's empty.
So right now, top would be a beautiful idea. They're in position for Baron. They get a turret they can push on from both sides. They can have people come around through that path and as well as in front of the turret. So I don't know. It looks like they're going to clear out their jungle. Getting Galio, that blue buff, will be very nice right now. Before they even want to do Baron or fight, very smart idea. And it looks like we may see something here, Freak.
Yeah, see what they're doing with this. They've got to be a little bit careful. Of course, the word control's still there for SoloMid. V8. Yeah, oh, they're going to get, yeah, they are going to get jumped in. Here we go, Red Jump coming around the side. Red buff, after really, really wants it. Can he get it in time? He's going to get it, and here comes a team fight, potentially. They're still running in. Oh, Lulu dropped by Kog'Maw, nice by KX. And they're going to catch Takashi as well. He will drop 2 kills for none right now. And V8's going to have to run away from this fight. There's no way they can hold up to this. Even Baron's not going to make a 5v3 work for him. Alpha, they know where you are? Okay.
Still want to contest this. There's definitely going to be saplings over the edge every 10 seconds from Maokai. We're going to see possibly a Triss jump in, but that's going to be deadly for her. So I guess it's all up to the sapling.
His smite's up.
The flash in from Mao. Can he do it unstoppable here to turn the tide of the fight if he can get in there? If he decides to flash on this, he will throw down his ult, so he can pop that.
Oh, he whipped the flash!
Wow.
They don't know that, though. They don't know. They actually pulled back, not knowing he whipped flash, but they did get that kill free, the free kill onto Vladimir. Going back onto it now. Unstoppable's gonna have a hard time with this one. Oh no! I don't think. No, he didn't get it. Okay, so Team SoloMid picking up that kill and Baron. He picked up 4 unanswered kills in a row. 15-4 this kill score, and now 13,000 gold as well. SoloMid, I think they just need to push at this point, and I think the crowd's happy about that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of tank there. I don't even think they need minions to get this next turret. Kog'Maw with that attack speed went Phantom Dancer, and then Janna's shield on him is going to be a lot more damage if she throws that there. And they're going to be able to take this down quite easily. That inhibitor will fall. Now they have about 15 seconds before they're really going to face a fight here. Tristana is top, so they can continue to just mill about. It looks like they may go bottom now. That will be the safer bet. Baron's gone. They're going to be able to just control this tower. They're going to take it out nice and quick.
Yeah, it looks like around 36 minutes going to be the Baron respawn. They're going to grab blue first. They're just being diligent about controlling the map. They've not given away
and dragon, never mind,
almost anything. Yeah, they're going for the dragon as well. They just picked up blue on a Reginald. They could turn now. I mean, Auburn has lost some health. Yeah, he's actually going to run towards the back and then recall. They're actually going to wait and buy items first. Look at their gold individually. 1900, 2000, 13, 17, 1800. Everyone's got like 15 to 2000 gold. They're going to spend that first, buy some items. You have to lose part of the Baron buff, but it's worth it. At that point, if you're not full health, you've still got 2.5 minutes of Baron buff. Buy the items, then go for the push. That is advice that I can give to every player there. Be patient, buy your items, then go for it. Use the rest of that Baron buff. You got about 2 minutes, about 4 minion waves worth. Push from there, get the items first.
These guys are playing really smart right now. TSM really has not engaged in a fight that they wouldn't have the upper hand in. You know, Reginald has always been the first one in there, being the aggressor, as we said before. He just likes to get in the face of everybody, make you make a mistake, and then really work off of that advantage. And all their fights have really been with their vision in the jungle. That's 2 things that are giving you an advantage. And VA still doesn't have the Oracle on their team, kind of lacking in money, so it's not really the best thing to buy. You are dying, so it might be a waste of money, but you really have to weigh those odds right now. If the vision of just one bush fight is going to turn the game for you and give you a 5v4 and allow you to win the fight and then take Baron, it's something you have to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. SoloMid still pushing through this bot lane. Dyrus and Chaos, very, very big damage threats here. Reginald now going up to the front. It's pretty tanky. Only 90 armor, so he will take damage from turrets, but gets a shield there from Janna, especially with a lot of cooldown reduction. Up to 36 CDR actually right now. That's a nice amount of cooldown. We're going to go in up again. Hurt a little bit, doing some damage. Chaos looks like he's going to preserve his W. You can see Bioarcane Barrage not yet activated. Doesn't want to have that be down and then get caught by V8. So they're playing very, very patiently, which I think is absolutely the right call here for SoloMid.
Tristana is going to be really big in this next fight. Hopefully he can stay on the outside. She has about 150 more range than Kog'Maw right now, but he does have that artillery that he can just throw down from any range. Let's see, they now take the bottom inhibitor. They are now in control of the outside of V8's base. V8 considering here just to guard the top, but then they can walk through the bottom or middle. So this becomes really tough for them. TSM is going to be able to control the map here.
Yep, they're going to go for the back door, actually. V8 is here to defend, but between Bulwark and John Shield, Dyrus is a very, very tanky man. 128 armor without Bulwark on, so going to give him a lot more there. You can see Galio level 18, every ability max. Bulwark going to give, I think it's 90 armor and magic resist for 4 seconds whenever it's on. V8 still kind of holding back here. They're going to go in, and they're going to convert, and V8 has to defend here. This has to be like the one chance to fight, I think. With all 3 inhibs down, I don't think they can hold up much of anything here. Takashi trying to get around the side. Reginald kind of sitting up, kind of facing off Takashi. Wants to actually taunt him every fight. He's still not getting a whole lot done. Ezzy's going to take a lot of damage here. Here comes the initiation. Takashi in the middle. There comes Reginald and Maokai. Everyone is dealing as much damage as possible. Oh, he blocks the ultimate. Nice job by Lulu there. Damage output coming everywhere. KX going to drop down. Muffin not in great shape. Looks like Galio's still alive. Zalpa getting pushed back as well. And looks like V8 only losing 1, but not getting a kill. SoloMid there. Fairmouth is gone, but they still have minions there. They can keep pushing 5v4. They can still make this happen.
That was a great job by Takashi. Actually, Reginald throwing down the Galio ult was stopped instantly, and they were really able to stop a lot of damage that was coming in from there. Kog'Maw with the flash, almost getting the kill on to Takashi. It looks like they're going to try to force this one out here. They are being aggressive. They want to keep the Nexus from being exposed, and there it is. It looks like the damage will be done. Dyrus is going to stay right on that Nexus with the odd one, and they will be taking the first game here. The 3rd game of the day. We still have another match coming up after this, but an amazing just TSM playing a game we haven't seen yet. That was kind of just like an M5 jungle right off the bat.
I think absolutely. You know, Moscow 5 definitely have kind of instructed the rest of the League of Legends world how to play this